Yes.
So, good.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And what about you?
I'm also as fit as a fiddle, and thank you for asking.
Yeah, that's great. So, we are meeting first time. So, would you introduce yourself?
Of course, it's my pleasure. So, thank you very much for giving me this golden chance to introduce myself in front of you. This is Bablu Kisku. I hail from Hooghly, West Bengal. And if I talk about my qualification, I have accomplished masters in English literature. And if I talk about my interest, I love to play cricket, football, and having conversation with different kinds of people. And by profession, I am a school teacher. Now, apart from that, I am running a YouTube channel which name is English with Bablu, where I upload English related conversational videos. So that's all about me, and thank you for asking.
Okay, that's great. Bablu, I have started a series for those who are just thinking about learning English, but they are not able to take first step towards speaking. So my question is that when did you like you told me that you are a teacher, English teacher. So from your childhood or now in your adult age, you have think thought about learning English or speaking English. When did you start your English journey?
So if I talk about myself, I started my English speaking journey 5 months ago, to be honest. Okay, because earlier times I didn't too much focus on speaking and listening skills. So that's why I was not able properly. I was not able to speak properly. Okay, so earlier time, so I used to focus mainly on grammar, reading, writing. So that's why I'm very good in those parts. But in terms of speaking, I'm not so much able to speak properly. So that's why I thought that I should work on my speaking skill so that I can teach my students properly. And apart from that, I am blessed with a son. I want to give him proper English speaking and environment. So that's why I'm keep on practicing on a regular basis nowadays.
Yeah, so you are the live example in front of us that people always tell that you have to learn firstly grammar and then you will be able to speak. So according to you, you knew the grammar but you were not able to speak English. So now you are learning how to speaking English. So that's great. Okay, so tell me that about you, like as you told me. So according to you, which part of grammar we have need for speaking? Only for speaking, not for writing or reading or all the stuffs or giving to a competitive exam. For speaking, like how much grammar we have need?
So I can say that in terms of speaking, we should learn basic grammar. Mostly tense. Tense is very play essential part in case of speaking. And 70% I can say that 70% role play tenses in case of speaking. So that's why we should learn all the tenses. There are 12 tenses total. So we should learn all the 12 tenses structure. But in terms of speaking, all the tenses are not necessary all the time. Simple present tense, simple present perfect tense, present continuous tense, and simple past tense, past perfect tense, and simple future. These are the tense required for starting speaking. Okay, and after that we should learn also parts of speech, article, prepositions, modal verbs also very good. Also, it's also play a vital role. So that's why we should learn these types of basic grammar in the initial stage.
Yeah, that's true. Whenever you will be able to speak at least basic English, then you can enhance or you can improve your grammar simultaneously. But initial stage, you can speak for speaking portions. Definitely, you have to learn little bit about tenses, and I can say that modal verbs as well because can mostly we use can, could, or would. So apart from that, listening is must. Listening, as you told me, you were not accustomed to listen all the stuff, but now you are listening. So what types of what kinds of stuff you are listening, like podcast or something different you are listening for improving your communication?
To be honest, in case of me, I can say that I used to listen only in conversational videos. Okay, so how do we interact with each other? What kind of people in front of us, and how to deal with them? So that's why I used to focus only on conversational videos, and simultaneously also I used to listen podcast videos and motivational videos also. But all the conversation is in English. Okay, because our brain is not accustomed to listening. Okay, so we need to train our brain. So that's why we need to listen a lot at the initial stage, because suppose that imagine how we have learned our mother tongue in our childhood. Okay, so we in our childhood we listen a lot from our elders, from our surroundings. Okay, because we have to be very observer. We need to be very good observer. We have to listen a lot from our surroundings also. Okay, by this way, gradually we'll develop our listening skill, and day by day you will be improving yourself.
That's true. That's true. And you told me about that you are watching so much conversational videos. So how do you learn from conversational videos? Because one of our co-learner, he was asking me that how can I learn from conversational videos? Firstly, I just would like to you can share your ideas with me, and then I'll tell you.
Okay, from conversational videos, we have to think from ourselves also, why we are learning. Okay, because mostly the learners, when they start learning this language, we have to learn the purpose, why we are learning. Okay, if our why is clear, then we should proceed in a better way. Okay, so suppose that I am learning for my passion. I am very much passionate, enthusiastic about learning this language, and I also a teacher. I am a teacher also. I want to give 100% to my students. Okay, so that's my voice is very strong. Okay, so by this way, I am just focusing on conversational videos, and from the conversational videos, I get to learn. Suppose how we interact with each other at the initial time in introduction. Okay, how we in the introduction, how we start our ideas at the initial stage. And suppose if I get to learn any structure, sentence structure, and any idioms, or it could be any word, so I just keep a note down with me also. I jot down the words. Okay, so by this way, I am learning a lot. I am learning a lot, many advanced words, many new words, vocabulary also. By this way, I am learning. I just jot down all those things, and these types of words I try to utilize in my conversation. Okay, and by this way, I am still learning. I'm a very good learner, you can say. Okay, so by this way, I am still keep on learning.
That's great. You know, when my co-learner he asked me this question that how can I learn from the conversational videos? So my question answer was like that everyone has their own introduction, the way how that person is introducing himself or herself. So you can learn from there if you are in your initial stage. So the first thing is that if you are able to give your introduction in a better way, so you will be confident that okay, I have given my introduction, now I am able to speak. So the first thing is that introduction, you can learn from there. And second thing is that you can learn from their art of questioning. How can you ask questions to other persons or a stranger? So you can learn from their art of questioning. And third thing is that answering. How can you give answer properly? So there are few things that you can learn from there, and then you will be able to speak at least in your initial stage. Then you know how to give introduction, and then how to ask questions, and then how to give answers. So these are the things that you can use while you are conversing with stranger. So you will be confident that okay, I am asking question and I am able to give the answer. So this is a great way that you can at least start your journey, and gradually, definitely sooner or later, you will be able to speak. So in this way, that was the right answer you have given me. Okay, Bablu. So you have told me about the vocabulary as well. So tell me how, like, definitely it plays a vital role while we are speaking in English. So vocabulary, definitely it is must. So how do you learn vocabulary, and how do you use that vocabulary in your communication?
Okay, so if I talk about myself, vocabulary, but I have told you that from conversation videos I get to learn many vocabularies, and simultaneously I'm fond of reading storybooks. Okay, I also read storybooks a lot. By storybooks mainly children's storybooks, Aesop fables, Panchatantra. There are lots of storybooks because I am very much I have interest into these storybooks. So that's why I'm always, whenever I get free time, I try to read 1 or 2 pages from story. Okay, by this way, I just get to learn many new words. Okay, and I told you that I write down all those new words in my diary, and I try to utilize in my conversation. Okay, by this way, I'm enhancing my vocabulary also, because there are lots of vocabulary we have, but we just forget. While having conversation, we just forget, because there is a two type of memory in our short term memory and long term memory. Okay, most of the times I also in the initial stage used to forget the vocabulary what I have learned so many. Suppose that I have learned two or three or maybe 10 vocabs. Okay, but after few days or after 1 month, I just forget all those vocabulary. Okay, just because I am not using those types of vocabulary. So I try to utilize and try to write down. Maybe 1 or 2 after 3 or 5 days, I just try to read. I try to utilize all those vocabularies. By this way, I'm improving my vocabulary. And I don't read newspaper, okay, because I don't have too much time. I don't read, and you know that newspaper I can understand well, but for the beginners it's very difficult. There are complex sentence, too much complex. There are grammatical pattern, infinitive and participle.
Yeah,
Okay,
passive wise they use there, na. So it is little bit daunting task for initial stage that you have to read, and the people they are thinking about that we have to watch movies. No, they can watch cartoons.
cartoon is
No,
very good.
they can learn from them, and definitely reading books. If your kid is studying in convent school, so definitely there are books like moral science books, and there are so many best stories are there and best vocabularies are there, so you can learn from there, and in this way you can foster a habit into you that okay, I have to learn, and I like we are learning, but the main thing is that how we are using that vocabulary in our communication skill, that is must.